go for lunch. 3. When supper time's a crunch. 2. T-minus now, it's time
1.
for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Don't be an alien. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit premiermovementnd.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. premiermovementnd.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit prostyleproduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering. Feed fires it. Easton Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
The growing tradition of Magi Hockey carries on today.
He scores! And it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz. Tic-tac-toe play. Mason Morelli with the backhand. Slips it past the netminder. Here's Martell driving. Scores! Martell, Fuchs, and the Magi are on the board of the power play. 40 seconds in OT. A drive coming back toward Fuchs. Scores! Flom gets her out of that. Flom, then he fires. He scores! And that Flom has ended it.
With one goal in mind.
Face off one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Point Hyde sends it down. Bennett top shelf backhand. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies. And it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office. Bennett feeds Hyde at the line. Near side. Hyde zooms it in. Tipped in front. Vile tucks it home. And it's 5-1. Leanne's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. No, he scored. It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos at home. And the Magicians lead.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Rulli. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's Let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Holberg.
For the fourth time in history, the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament finds itself at the Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota. It's the home to the USHL's Fargo Force, but this weekend, it's home to the top 8 teams in North Dakota high school hockey. Today, it's the Minot High Magicians, the number 3 seed out of the West region. They will be the road team taking on the number 2 seed out of the East. The home team today, the Fargo South Bruins. Good afternoon. And welcome into the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza at 701-852-1700. If you're hungry now, I recommend getting some chicken wings from the Planet Pizza. Those are fantastic. Planet Pizza brings you the pregame show here this afternoon. Alongside of my broadcast partner and great friend, Mr. Larry McFall, I'm Nick Holberg for this quarterfinal matchup broadcast here on the PSP Network and at 1390 KRRZ back in the Magic City. Minot High has gone 2-1 in quarterfinal games here at the Shields Arena. If you go back to last year, they got shellacked by Fargo Davies. 8-4 was the score there. You go back to 2017, Minot got a win over Fargo Davies, a 4-2 hockey game that boosted them into the semis. They ended up taking 4th in 2017. And the year that we all remember so well was 2015, when the Magi got a win in overtime against Devil's Lake to move on to the semifinals, where they knocked off Fargo South 4-1. Later to beat Grand Forks Central for their second state title. What is it about this arena that Minot High likes so much, and why has this been such a great place for the Magicians in this opening game at the State High School Hockey Tournament?
Well, that's a very good question, Nick, and I didn't know that you were going to ask me that, but I would have to say that there's something about Grand Forks and the Ralph and the Purper that just doesn't bide well for a lot of teams. The Grand Forks teams really feel at home when they're up in Grand Forks, and normally Red River and Central are 2 of your 8 teams that are meeting up for the state tournament to see who wins. So by having it in Fargo, I think that takes that Red River Central domination factor out, at least in the teams' minds that have to go and play them. And you feel like you maybe have a little more of a level playing field. Plus, the Shields Arena for Minot High is a lot like the Mesa Arena. It seats a little more, but it's built the same. It's not as overwhelmingly huge as the Ralph is. I think that makes a big difference as well. It feels maybe a little bit more like home for Minot.
Well, it wasn't home for Bismarck Century in the first game of the day.
No.
The number 1 seed from the West got pounded by a Fargo Davies seed that came in, Fargo Davies team that came in as the number 4 seed. 6-0 in that hockey game early on here today. That was game number 1. Davies moves on to the semifinals. They'll await the winner of Fargo South and Minot. Tonight we'll see number 1 out of the East, Grand Forks Red River, taking on number 4 out of the West, Jamestown. That game's at 5:30. And then 30 minutes after that one, the nightcap tonight, number 2 out of the West, the Demons from Bismarck High, take on number 3 out of the East, Grand Forks Central. This is a year that the East region has dominance. There's no question about that. Why is Grand Forks Central the number 3 team out East, you ask? Well, this East region has some parity this year, just like the West had. Your thoughts on the parity in the state hockey tournament? And we talked about it last night. Does anyone out of the West have a shot? And if they do, it's probably the Magicians. Why is that here this year?
Well, last night on our pre-tournament show, I picked Century to win that game that just got done. And just to throw in real quick, they were only down 2-0 in the middle of the second period, and they had a 5-minute major power play. They hit the goalpost twice on that 5-minute power play, where they could have got on the board at 2-1, 2-2, and maybe made it a game. That didn't work, and then Fargo Davies blew it open, got an open net goal, and enough on that. So now they're gone. So out of the teams left from the West, I think Minot High has the best chance out of those 3 teams. But last night I picked Fargo South to win it all, and that's who Minot High is playing today. I just think this might be Samson against Goliath, and I don't mean Gary Samson, by the way. And that's going to be a real tough battle, I think, for Minot High this afternoon.
The big reason why is probably because of the Sandy brothers for Fargo South. Drew Sandy has 58 points on the year, second in scoring in the state. He scored 22 goals on the year, 36 assists for him. They also have a player by the name of Alex Sempf. He had 38 points last year as a freshman. He's got 54 here as a sophomore. He's the real deal as well, but the big one for me is Zach Sandy, the All-East Region goaltender with a 95% save percentage and a 117 goals against average. Can you beat numbers like this in the state tournament, and how do you do it?
By the way, Sandy, we brought it up last night. He had 570 shots on him, and only 28 got by him, Nick. He had 542 saves out of 570 shots, down as my number one key of the game today. You got to have a traffic jam in front of him, in front of the net. You got to get, it's almost like an NHL goalie or a high-level D1 goalie or the USHL goalie. You have to get deflections and rebounds on these guys, because when you get that good, like Sandy is, you just don't score on shooting it in on him unless you've got somebody there creating some trouble for him. So Minot High has to get a lot of traffic. They got to tear the stoplights down and just flood the intersection, which is called the slot, and just try to get some stuff on him.
Well, Minot High's got a kid in the pipes that's no slouch either. The All-West player and the selection for the WDA is Trey Sortland. The junior for the Magi went 16-6 in his junior year, finished the WDA regular season at 13-1. He had the most wins out of any goaltender in the West region. He comes in on a .252 goals against average and an 89% save percentage. I'm going to ask you a blunt question right now, and I know they're just high school kids. Does Sortland, in your mind, have what it takes to win this hockey game here today?
Yes, he has to play a near perfect game, and I think the defense really has to help him out. That slot area from the hash marks in has got to be heavily guarded. So on offense, they're trying to break into that area down on the one end of the ice, and the other end of the ice, they have to help out Trey Sortland. But yes, Trey Sortland, and we've seen him, we watched him all year long. He can steal the show in some games, and he's done it before. So to do that, he's got to be on the top of his game, and he needs a lot of help, I believe, from his defense.
Well, he's got 2 votes from the broadcast crew here from the PSP Network, because I think he definitely has the tools to get it done today. Quarterfinals at the State High School Hockey Tournament today are presented by Ryan Family Dealerships. New and used, Minot's best selection. Visit driveryan.com. Ryan Family Dealerships bringing you tournament coverage along with all of our great sponsors here on the PSP Network at 1390 KRRZ. We caught up with John Grubb, the co-head coach of the Magi, before the game. You'll hear his thoughts next in the Planet Pizza Coaches Corner. Fargo South, Minot High. The state quarterfinals are live here on the PSP Network at 1390 KRRZ. You got it in the right spot. It's going to be a barn burner today, and this is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
My name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
It's time for the Planet Pizza pregame Coach's Corner. Get your game plan for laser tag in the largest laser tag playground in the region. Did we mention the cheesy, delicious, mouth-watering first bite of a Planet Pizza pizza? Now, here's the matchups insight with the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner.
It's the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner with the Minot High co-head coach, Mr. John Grubb. John, first of all, thanks for some time here at the Shields Arena at the State High School Hockey Tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for all your coverage this year. Appreciate it.
Minot High comes out of the West Region as the number 3 seed out of the West Region after a nail-biter with Mandan. First of all, talk about the WDA just a little bit here. And through the tournament, 4 teams get in, but that's the most parity we've seen in the West Region in my time here calling games in the last 10 years for the Magi. Your thoughts on that?
It is, and I think it was, from a coaching side, it's kind of expected, looking at all the box scores and watching different teams beat different teams over the year. Like, we knew going in, every game was going to be tough. We thought we had, the way it shook out, the harder side of the bracket, and we did, and we had to battle to get here.
Today you guys draw Fargo South, the number 2 seed out of the East Region. This is a matchup of a rematch of the matchup in the 2015 semifinals in this very arena that Minot High has had some success in. What do you expect out of Fargo South, and what stands off the paper to you? Obviously, those Sandy kids are the real deal.
Yeah, they are. Goaltending is point number 1 for them. He's excellent. We know we have to get traffic to him. He's going to be tough to beat, so we're going to find a way to score some goals. But top of that, their top line's very good, but they maybe play a little shorter bench than we do. So, if they're only playing 10 to 12 kids and we can roll 3 lines out there consistently, we hope that, that gives us a little bit of help there.
For Minot High, they're a team that scored 96 times on the year. It felt like in the WDA tournament, they just had a little bit of a hard time getting the puck to fall their way. You, as a natural goal scorer in your career all the way up to college, what do you tell these kids in the room like that when things really just aren't going their way when it comes to finding the back of the net?
Sometimes not make the extra play, put your shoulder down, take the puck to the net. Good things happen when the puck goes to the net, puck can kick out. And, that's the main thing. I think for us not scoring in that tournament, a big part of that was just, a couple of bad breaks where the kids are a little tight. We score a goal, everybody's up, it gets taken away, everybody's down. I think it's, for kids this age, it's hard for them to get back on track. And, they found a way to get back on track, and we were proud of them.
Trey Sortland's been your workhorse this year for the Magicians. He's an all-WDA player, in my mind, one of the best in the West, and if not in the state. How important is Trey's performance today? I know it's a cliche, but he's got his work cut out for him against the Bruins here today.
Yeah, he's the most important guy on our team by far coming into this game. Trey competes extremely hard, and Trey is a good talent side to him. And, if we can make Trey's life easier and not put him in bad situations all the way through the game, Trey's going to make the saves we ask him to, and then we'll be in a hockey game come the third period. But that's going to be up for the guys to play in front of him and, take away odd mans and backdoor tap-ins and those type of things that, really aren't on him as a goalie.
For you, is there one X factor in this hockey game today? One thing that really stands off the paper and your message to the boys here today?
We asked the kids this week to attack Fargo South. And too many times you come down here and kids sit back and they sit back and you let the game come to you. We told them we're going to forecheck hard, make sure our third guy is very high, but two guys get after him, put the pressure on them a little bit. And I think the number one key for us is for something to go well early. And if that means the first period ends 0-0, that we'll take it. But if we could get a goal early, it would be huge for this team's confidence level.
John, I sure appreciate your time as always here this entire year, and certainly in the Planet Pizza Coaches Corner State Tournament's our favorite time of the year. We're wishing you the best of luck here at the tournament.
Thanks, Nick. It's been fun.
That's John Grubb, co-head coach of the Magi. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll dive further into the numbers. Fargo South and Minot High in the state quarterfinals. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
When supper time's a crunch, T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit premiermovementnd.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. premiermovementnd.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Watch out for flying pucks and the Zamboni. Let's go back to the press box with Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Two teams with 12 combined losses on the year lock horns in the quarterfinals of the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament here this afternoon. Thanks for joining us for the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza is the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. Their menu is fantastic. I highly recommend the Blue Buffalo Pizza. Try the chicken wings as well. Those are great also. Planet Pizza at 701-852-1700. They will deliver this entire broadcast here today. They deliver all the time in the Magic City. Fargo South is the number 2 seed out of the East. They lost to Red River in the EDC Championship by a score of 2-0. They went 12-3-1 in the East region this year. They're a team that went 18-5-1 overall on the year. When the dust settled and the standings were set heading into the EDC tournament, it was South that was number 2, only behind Grand Forks Central. For Minot High, they win the West Region regular season crown. They win their 19th WDA title by going on a 13-1 stretch in the WDA regular season. They were 18-6 overall. They got upset by Bismarck High in the region semifinals. They put them here in this matchup today after beating Mandan in a thriller in overtime to stamp their 37th ticket here to the State High School Hockey Tournament, and we've got the call for you here today. Nick Holberg and Larry McFall for this one. Drew Sandy and Alex Semp from Fargo South are at the top of the list in North Dakota high school hockey scoring. only behind Botno Rugby's Ian Amsbaugh, who had 65 points. Sandy's got 58. Semp has 54. This is going to be a real matchup with that top line for Fargo South and the depth of Minot High here in this matchup today on the Pro Style Production Network. Larry, you locked in and ready. State Hockey. What more can you say about this?
Yeah, this is a pretty exciting venue here. I think a lot of the people like this rink better than the Ralph. It's tighter and louder, and the atmosphere seems to be right where we need it to be. And the Magicians have a real tough road ahead of them today, I'm not going to lie. And I guess maybe it wasn't Samson that battled Goliath. I've been corrected. So I must have not read my book in grade school.
I was wondering who Samson was.
David and Goliath.
David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a barn burner nevertheless. Andrew Goodmanson checked in today, as he always does, before these high school hockey matchups. And as Andrew Goodmanson would say, what happens at state hockey stays at state hockey. Well, we hope you're wrong. We hope we're bringing a title back to the Magic City. Andrew Goodmanson, of course, from 701 Realty. Let he and his wife, McKenna, make your experience a positive one if you're buying or selling a home. 701realty.com. Minot High's the road team today. They're going to travel from the left to the right for the first and the third. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. Fargo Souths in their home whites. They've got brown breezers, white helmets, brown and yellow gloves. They've got a couple yellow and brown stripes on the pads, and we are underway. Philly it off the opening draw, carried it into the offensive zone as South brings it back up to center, and they cross it back over into Minot High territory. We're on the retrieve as Bone Break. Bone Break moved it up to Philly, trying to clear the zone as Hauser, but it's held in there. Pinched down from 19, that's Boren, and the puck is sent right back in to the near corner on the blocker side of Sortland, where Riley Operud's on the retrieve. Here's the all-West player for the Magi. Operud just flings this one to center on the backhand, and then it's going to be hammered in from center ice by the Bruins. That one dumped in from center by Zazada. Back in behind the net of Sortland, sent down in front, loose puck, top of the circle, and here comes Peyton Fillion. Up to center ice for the Magi. Fillion will dump this one down to the corner. Out of the net to play it with Sandy. He's got some trouble and a miscommunication there. The puck is freed on the wall now, where it's sent to center, where Nick Murphy got a stick on it. Back the other way into the offensive zone. It's Bergeron that brings it in here for the Bruins. He hits the brakes and looks for the outlet, sends it down to the corner where it connects with Jake Bryant. Bryant had the puck stripped from him by Tice. Tice bumped it back to his D partner. This is Thongfet. Thongfet had the assist on the game winner to send Minot High to the state tournament. His brother Isaiah scored his 16th point of the year. Puck's down to the Minot High end, blocker's side of Trey Sortland. Over to the glove side it goes, and here come the Magi up to center with Nick Murphy. He bumps it off the boards and fires it out to neutral, but the Bruins put it right back in. Now Jaden Luck's into the offensive zone. He was stick checked on the play, so Thongfet has to regroup at center ice where Murphy's got it and dumps it in on Sandy. Sandy forced to make his first stop of the hockey game. An easy stick save, and the Bruins bring it back the other way up to center. Donna Bauer moves it across the Minot High stripe, in on the blocker's side of Trey Sortland. Back to retrieve was Operud on the near wall. He freed it to Jaden Luck, who has some real estate. Luck flips it up to Plemmel at center. There's a Bruin down on the ice. Trying to get off in pain there is Donna Bauer. And Minot High's got it with Morelli, who dumps it into the offensive corner. But it's the Bruins right back out to center. 14:50 to play here in the first. 0-0 hockey game. Sent in front of Sortland. That one went wide away to the near side wing. That one from Drew Sandy. And now into the corner it comes again. South has it tied up with Sandy. He's going to go into Gretzky's office, in behind Trey Sortland, work back up to the point. Handling here at the line, this is Scarperoon at the far point. To drive came in. It was knocked down, and Sandy had it all the way up through the neutral zone. Into offensive Terry, right in front of the net. Oh, that one almost hopped off the stick there of Zazada. And the puck is going to be held at the line by Thongfet, but pushed to center, back the other way. Zazada's in with it, fires on, and Trey Sortland makes his first stop of the hockey game.
Wow, no whistles in the first 3 minutes as these two teams going back and forth up and down the ice. And that was a nice play there by Fargo South and a nice shot, but Trey Sortland comes up big on that one. And down in the other end, Sandy almost gave up a bouncer. And we got a good one going here at the Shields Arena.
On the Ryan Chevrolet scoreboard, 0-0. Minot High and Philly and have the puck. He's trying to clear the zone. He can't. It's held in at the line there by Dean. And out to center ice, it's Philly, and they got it up here. And on the rush for the Magi, it's moved ahead forward from Draney. Comes back away to the possession on the near side wing, and Casey Field for the Magi's in. Field on the near side wing. Takes it down underneath the goal line. Right side of the radio dial. Puck taken here by the Bruins on the near side wall. They're going to go to center with it, and Goris moves in. Goris is in on the one-on-one. Nice play defensively from Thongfen. He bumps it away from him, and now it's going to be Fillion back over the far circle. That's going to free it over to Hauser, and Hauser's going to try to clear the zone. He can't. Puck's taken here by the Bruins and the Magi. They scrum for it. Now it's going to be freed. Here come the Magi. Casey Field, 2-on-4 back the other way. Field fires on, and Sandy made the easy stop out of the pillow. Still scoreless on the Ryan Chevrolet scoreboard with 13:06 to play in the first.
Field gets over the blue line and takes a nice shot. It's nice to have him back from that season-long injury. And he does what you really need to do, get shots on Sandy and hope for a rebound. There was somebody parked there, but Sandy held on.
4 minutes into the quarterfinals for the Magi. Drive comes in on goal. Sandy went down to the pillows. He stopped it. That was a shot from Ben Bonebreak at the line, and he hangs on to it.
That ricocheted off one of their players as well. Say at the end of the second period, Grand Forks leads Devils Lake 1-0 in girls hockey, and Fargo Davies took care of West Fargo earlier 3-1. So it's been a good day for Fargo Davies as the girls and the boys team both win.
Bonebreak fired from the line. It was knocked down. The other way comes Alex Semp on the breakaway. Semp fires. Oh, he scored. Tucked it through the wickets, and Semp's got the South Bruins on the board for the first time tonight, 1-0.
Well, what Fargo South did there is they blocked the shot at the blue line, and if you're Minot High, you just can't do that. You can't give up breakaways, and it sneaked in through Sortland's 5-hole. And the time of that goal is going to be 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
Alex Semp's 22nd goal of the year, point number 55 here in his sophomore campaign. And the all-EDC players got south of the board first. Slap shot came in from Semp on the ensuing face-off. Sortland turned that one aside, and back to center come the Magi with Jack Plemmel. Let's see what happens with the Magi and their confidence now after they give up the first goal here tonight. Back the other way up to center ice with it. Drew Sandy's into the offensive zone, hammered in behind Sortland from center. Plemmel's on the wall trying to clear it out for the Magi. The puck's back in behind the net. We're handling here is Tice. Tice hits the brakes for the Magi. He's going to work it back up to Plemmel, high off the glass to center. It's going to be pushed right back into Minot High territory as it's taken out by Morelli. And Morelli will flip this one in on Sandy. Bouncer right in on goal. Nice play from Morelli, and Sandy makes the stop.
What I like about what the Magicians are doing right now, Nick, is every time they're getting in the zone, they're taking that initial shot and hoping for the rebound. Instead of trying to get fancy and make passes, the speed is needed against Fargo South compared to what Minot High's used to. So I like those shots on goal and going for the rebounds. I think that's the best way to play these guys.
On the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, 0-1. South has the lead with 11:48 to play here in our first. With the puck, Fillion backdoor. Oh, he sent it wide by a foot to the blocker side of the give and go from Hauser. Puck comes back up to center. Off-Root's going to move it ahead forward. Back in comes Casey Field, but it's taken away there by the Bruins. Zana's going to try to move it up to center. He does. He's going to connect there at center ice, and into the offensive zone comes Bergeron. Hits the brakes of the circle, fires on. Glove side of Sortland went wide. Puck is taken here by the Magi, and Fillion back to center. And with it at center, the puck is taken by Lars Hager, and he moves it forward into Magi territory. We thought it could be a good matchup today with Minot High and South, two very well-disciplined hockey teams. Hitting and physicality could be the key to the game for the Magicians. The Bruins are talked about as a team that doesn't play a whole lot of physical hockey over here on the east side of the state. With the puck, offensive zone for the Bruins. Down to the corner, here's a drive coming that hit the side of the iron. Working for it there and letting it go. Donabauer moves it back up to the point where it's sent across from Dean. Trying to clear for the Magi, unable to do so. Sent right in front, no one home. Thongfet trying to deliver out to neutral, couldn't. Now Hauser's got the chance with a little bit of real estate. He'll move it up to center ice. He dishes across to Thongfet. Puck is chipped up there by the D-man Carson Dean. Big hit at center, another collision. Two players on the ice. One of them was Isaiah Thongfet. Back into the offensive zone. Drew Semp's got the puck. Make that Alex Semp, my apologies. Underneath the net, he's got the game's lone goal for Fargo South. At the point, drive comes in. Over the head of Sortland, went wide. Back underneath the net, sent in front of the Magi cage. No one home. Puck taken here on the near side wall. D-zone for the Magi. They're trying to push to center. 10:06 left here in the first period. Minot High down by a goal. Puck in the corner, blocker side of Trey Sortland. Puck's going to be flipped up to center ice there, and on the attack for the Magi out to center. That's Josh Strady playing forward this afternoon for the Magi. Back into the offensive zone for South. It's Semp that moved it ahead forward. Loose in front of the Minot High cage, away with it. This is Sandy that's going to move it back up to the point. It's moved out of the zone. Here comes Nick Murphy into the offensive territory. Sends it across, Plebel's in, fires, he scores! Jack Plebel from Nick Murphy. We've got a hockey game. It's 1-1 with 9:35 left in the first. And Murphy sets up Jack Plebel, tucks that one home, and on the year for Jack Plebel, point number 23.
What a great play. Fillion coming on in on the left side and waited just perfectly and then feathered it over to Plemmel. And Plemmel made no mistake firing that one past Sandy. The Magicians have tied this game at 1-1 at the 7:25 mark.
Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 1-1. Let's listen in.
Number 7, Jonathan Plemmel. Assistant number 9, Nicholas Murphy.
Excuse me, Murphy with the assist. He's the one that came on and gave him the pass, not Fillion. What a pretty play.
Beautiful play. Plemmel could fire the puck. He scores his 16th goal of the year for the Magi. That was a howitzer off the wrist shot. And Minot High has tied the game. That is a huge momentum swing for the Magi. We talked about Sandy, a goal for South. We talked about him as a kid that has a 1.17 goals against average. We thought the Magicians might have a hard time buying a goal today, but they score on their third shot of the hockey game. With the puck, is Deal back in his own territory and on Sortland, and Sortland gobbles it up and puts the play to a close.
And especially shooting it from the face-off dot. That really surprised me there as he gave up that goal and there was nobody in between them.
Media timeout inside the arena. We'll do the same thing on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, 1-1 with 8:52 left in the first. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They travel together, but in separate vehicles. The voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Ryan Family Dealerships bringing you the game today. New and used, Minot's best selection. Visit driveryan.com. On the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, it's a 1-1 tilt with Fargo South and Minot High, courtesy of Jack Plemmel, picking up goal number 16 on the year. The Magicians have the equalizer. Sortland's going to cover it up again.
Face-off is going to come to the right of Sortland as he's being careful on those, on his choices of covering up or making the puck stay in play.
Off the draw, defensive zone for the Magi. Puck is taken here by the Magicians. Trying to move it up to center was Hauser. He's on the wall. It's freed down to Fillion, and Fillion pushes up to center. Here's Fillion that walked across center with it. Puck comes back down to Oprud. He chips it ahead forward. Glove down at the south line, and it's Gores that moves it ahead forward back into offensive territory. Nice defensive coverage for the Magi. They clogged the middle and turned the puck down into the corner now where Bonebreak's got it. He moved it over to Casey Field, and Field lets it go there to Riley Oprud. Oprud's going to start the rush for the Magi. Hail Mary pass all the way up to the south blue line into the offensive zone momentarily for Casey Field, but right back out for Jaden Luck at center, who had to regroup here for the Magicians. Right in front of the south bench, puck is freed there to the Bruins. Zach Bourne moved it up to center ice and then into the Magi zone. Oprud's back on the retrieve, and Riley Oprud hammers it off the glass. It's going to roll all the way down. This one's going to come just to the right of the goal, hits the side of the net, but there's an icing on the Magi.
Nice play by Sandy there, letting that go to get icing on Minot. And right now the Magicians starting to throw the body a little bit. That was a big hit by Ben Bonebreak over there by the penalty box. Also, they're kind of trapping Fargo South at the blue line when they come in. I had that written down as one of the keys to the game, was question mark whether Minot would go and maybe play a little trap.
Well, they've got good coaches to call the shots on the bench. 6 years for John Grubb and Jason Bennett. In that time, those coaches have gone 91-54 at the helm at Minot High School. That includes 2 WDA titles and a state championship here in this arena. Grubb and Bennett know their business. Hockey minds. Here's the puck from the corner, sent in front. Oh, top shelf the bid there that was high over the net from Zach Bourne. Almost had his 27th of the year. South got the puck again. Shot was up and wide.
And that was a bad giveaway down there by Minot High.
Puck's underneath the net. Comes back away up to center ice now with the help of Nick Murphy, who's got the motor on. Murphy up the right wing, skates it into the zone, spins off with the top of the circle, sent it in front to Morelli. He was not able to find it. The puck comes back all the way down. There's a hit on the far wall from Draney, and the Magicians have the puck back in their own territory with Bone Break as South went off for a change. Puck up to center, moved forward by Bone Break, didn't connect with any Magi, so it's taken by the Bruins, and they move it right back into Minot High territory where Zach Deal's back on it. Deal had a heck of a WDA tournament. He was fantastic for the Magi. Moves it back over here to Plemmel on the near wing, up through neutral ice, and now Isaiah Thogfent's in. Thogfent turns it towards the net. Talking about good WDA tournaments, he had 5 points for the Magi in the WDA hockey tournament. He's up for the Player of the Week on the PSP Network. Go vote now for Isaiah Thogfent at the PSP Network Player of the Week vote that's going on. Players from the WDA tournament stopping the play.
High sticking is going to be called on Minot High, knocking it down with the high sticks. The faceoff will come all the way down to the right of Sortland.
Couldn't believe what I saw today when we came in here. You walked in, and the first thing you did today is grab roasted almonds here at the rink. You've been talking about it for the last 6 years.
Never had them before.
Were they good?
Can't handle the smell without finally buying some. Yes, I'm taking some to the motel, to be honest with you.
2 drives on goal. Sortland forced to make 2 stops here on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, 1-1 in the first period. 6 on the dot left in the first.
Yeah, they're the real deal. I've smelled them for years at the Ralph and here, and finally I decided to buy some today, and I was not disappointed.
They look good.
Ooh.
At the point off the draw, one-timer in. Sortland forced to make a nice blocker stop on the boomer that came from the line. That one fired from Carson Dean. Here come the Magi back to center. Fillion trying to move it ahead forward. Taken by Riley Oprud. He's going to chip this one ahead. It rolls all the way back into South territory. John Gore is back on the retrieve for the Bruins. On the near side wing, D-zone for Fargo South. It's Field that had it. Now it's going to come back into the possession of Carson Dean. They move it ahead, taken away by the Magicians and Hauser. Nice forecheck from the Magi, but it's the Bruins up to center, and here comes Kirkaby. In over the line, this is Alex Sapp. Turns it towards the net, sent it wide on the blocker side. Puck comes back up to center ice. Casey Field back ahead for the Magi. Dumps this one down on Sandy. He's out of the net to play it. And Sandy left it in behind the cage. Back to retrieve was Zada. He went down to the ice. He lost an edge. He's back up, and back to center comes the captain of the Bruins. Up the far side wing into the offensive zone. This is Sandy down. He turned it towards the net, sent it wide on the glove side. Puck comes back away at the half wall. D-zone for the Magicians. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first. 1-1 the score here in this quarterfinal matchup at the State High School Hockey Tournament. With the puck down to the corner, Bo Bergeron spun it back away to the far wall where Gabe Thongfett moved it to the point, held in, one-timer at the line. A howitzer came in from Zazana. The stop was made from Sortland.
Boy, Sandy came skating, and it looked like just an innocent play, and he got around 3 Magicians with his speed, and he ended up getting a good shot on net.
Media timeout in the arena. We're going to do the same thing. Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, it's 1-1, 4:39 left of the first. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. One likes reading history novels. The other likes dressing up like the cat from Kiss. They're the voices of Magi Hockey. Let's get back to the press box with Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Thanks again for joining us today on 1390 KRRZ in the Magic City and across the World Wide Web at psp.network. Fans from all over the place tuned in today, including the 6th grade class at Jim Hill, Mrs. Jensen's class. Hope you kids are listening to your teacher. She knows her business. Hope you're enjoying the hockey game as well. Dogfight with Fargo South and Minot High as the puck's controlled by the Bruins. Back in behind Trey Sortland on the blocker side. Up the near side wall it comes. Back down to the corner. It went away there for Tice. He's trying to move it out for the Magi. Now it's Isaiah Thogfent that chips it back ahead. It's going to come into the possession of Gabe Thogfent. He goes off the glass and out to center for Isaiah. He moved it up the near side wing, but it's the Bruins right there. Lars Hagar moves it back again forward where the Magicians have it in their own territory. Up to Plebble at center on the near wall. He's the game's lone goal scorer for the Magi. Crashing in forward now for the Magicians. Plebble still working on the near side wall, but it's the Bruins and Sandy that are out with it. Minot High's offsides on the play.
What I was worried about, Nick, was Minot not being able to match Fargo South's speed. A lot of these Eastern teams are a little bit higher of a level, and you get used to playing your opponents in the West, and you might maybe be a stride or two behind, but they have really stayed with South tonight so far.
Well, Fargo South is a team that's gone 4-1 in their last 5 games. They're 8-2 in their last 10. A big reason why is their goaltender, who in 13 of the 24 games has given up a goal or less on the year. You heard that right. In 24 games, 13 of them, he's only been scored on once or less.
Wow.
That's sensational. Here come the Bruins, back up to neutral, but it's taken away by Morelli. Puck's at center, it lays right inside the blue line. Now for the Bruins into the offensive zone. Drew Sandy's offsides on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. 1-1 with 3:06 left in the first.
Yeah, that's just phenomenal, and you know that you're going to have to get a lot of traffic in front of him, and right now Minot High is just kind of shooting it in, and he's not giving up any rebounds, but that one goal from the face-off dot was awesome. Not expecting that one to get past Sandy.
Grady back in his own D end. Hail Mary pass came up to Hauser into the offensive zone affiliate. It was behind him. And now it's Casey Field that's hit from behind. Loose inside the blue line. Fillion scrumming on the near wall. Hang around for a First International Bank and Trust intermission report. In between the second and third, we'll talk to Tom Fillion, the former Mr. Hockey from Minot. Still holds the record, the state high school hockey tournament for the most points in a tournament. He had 12 points in 1992 in the state tournament. 12. Back the other way for the Magi out of their own end, trying to move it up the far wall. It's held in by the Bruins back in front of the Minot High net with the puck. That was Boren that had it momentarily. Now it's going to be taken there by Draney, and it's worked back up to the point. The Bruins can't hold it in. Cesana lost it over his stick, and it comes back away on the near side wall for Lars Hagar. Minot High's got one man aggressive. That's Derwin Hauser. Credit Hauser all year long. This kid's forecheck and two-way game has been fantastic. He's one of the hardest working kids we've seen in quite some time. Huge run at center ice. No charge on the play. Now they're getting it. Minot High will go to the power play for the first time this afternoon.
Well, that penalty is whistled at the 15:03 mark here of period number 1.
Seb Zazada goes to the box on the interference call. Faceoff comes back into the glove side circle of Sandy. If you hear that name Sandy a bunch today, that's because he's got a brother, Drew, who's sensational up front, leads the team in scoring. Locks out there with Thogfent, Bonebreak, and Plebble. That's the power play unit that's out for the Magi right now. 1:47 left in the first. Here come the Magicians at Bonebreak. From center, dumped in on Sandy. He's going to play it back in behind the net. I haven't been impressed with Sandy in goal today. He's fighting the puck a little bit and having a hard time playing the puck away from stopping it. Puck on the far side half wall. Puck taken here by the Bruins. They're going to launch this one all the way down the length of the ice. That one a Hail Mary from Jake Bryant. Sortland left it in behind the net for Ben Bonebreak. Under 90 seconds to play in the first period. We've got a 1-1 hockey game with number 2 from the east, Fargo, South Shanley, and number 3 from the west, Minot. Puck is taken up to center. Here comes Fillion. He's over the red line, down the blue. Fillion's into the corner on the glove side, takes it behind the net, looking for the outlet. Up to the far side, top of the circle. Zach Deal at the point. Here's Oproot. Over to Murphy. Back up to Oproot. Oproot stick handles at the point. Drops it down over to Murphy. Under a minute to play in the period. One-timer from Oproot. Didn't get anything on it. And back the other way comes Goris shorthanded. He gets around Oproot. Fires it towards the net. Went wide. 40 seconds to play here in the first period. Zach Deal's got the puck back. Turns it up to center. They caught South in a change. There's a guy still coming on the ice for him. Deal hits the brakes, far side half wall. We're down to 29 seconds to play. Sent it front back at the line. Oproot sends it in. He bombed one in, but the glove stop was made with 24.6 left in a 1-1 first.
Well, that was some nice dancing behind the net there by Morelli, trying to get that out front, and it did come out to the top of the slot. Oproot whiffed on one a little earlier, only got a piece of that one, so he'd like both of those back, as he had real good chances to rip. 24.6 seconds remaining in the first period. Minot High and Fargo South Shanley 1-1, and the Magicians still 27 seconds left on the power play.
Face-off controlled by the Bruins. They're trying to clear the zone up the near side wing. Magi have it back. Luck right on goal. Shot, save, rebound, shot. It's underneath the goaltender. Right at the goal line. Stop is made by Sandy. Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 1-1 with 14.9 seconds left in the first. Minot High's power play, the first power play opportunity of the day, down to 17 seconds.
Puck just laying there, and Luck just trying to stuff it in past the pad, just couldn't get it in.
All right, kids, cut them down. We're at 9, now 8. We're down to 7. Bruins clearing out to center, and with 5 seconds left in the period, Luck's back in his own territory. Saucers it ahead forward. That's going to do it for the first. One final shot on goal from Oproot, a bomb from neutral ice. It comes down. The stop was made, and at the end of one, it's 1-1 on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. The First International Bank and Trust intermission reports right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We've got a good one here today from the State High School Hockey Tournament. You're listening to Minot High Magicians Hockey.
I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit minothockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They have tonight's call and every Nickelback album. Back to the voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Well, the Magicians trying to pull some magic here this afternoon on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. It's 1-1 through 17 minutes. Nick Holberg alongside of Mr. Larry McFall. This is the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International Bank and Trust is a proud member of the Minot community. We stay true to our values by encouraging our staff to spend more time with family. By doing so, we spend more moments living in the moment. Member FDIC, live first. Larry, your thoughts on that first period? Minot High certainly weathered the storm, and not only that, they fought back and scored a goal, 1-1 at the end of one.
Yeah, and they played even with them too, which was really good. The shots on goal in that first period only favored Fargo South 9-5, so the goalie saves 4 for Sortland and 8 for Sandy. But yeah, they weathered the initial storm, which you and I talked off air, hasn't always happened before at the state tournament. Sometimes the first periods have done in the Magicians, and tonight they're right in the battle. So with 2 periods to go, man, anything can happen here tonight now. I think now the South, being the heavy favorite, has now came down a little bit and got a little level, and now we're down to 2 periods.
Well, John Grubb talked about that, the Planet Pizza Coach's Corner, how big those bounces are for the Magicians. And he said, even if that bounce means that it's 1-1 at the end of one, we will take it. I think if you're a Magician fan right now, anything can happen, obviously, through the next 34 minutes, but you have to be feeling a lot better right now than for so many years in the past where Minot High just seemed to come out so flat-footed in the state tournament.
Yeah. And now they're right in the game, and they don't seem to be intimidated at all, and they look really, really good right now. Alex Sem started the scoring for Fargo South at the 4:11 mark, and then 3 minutes and 14 seconds later, Nicholas Murphy made a great play coming in from the right-hand side of Sandy and waiting, and then a cross-ice pass over to Plemmel, who just buried it to tie up this hockey game. And the only penalty to speak of in that period was Seb Zazada got an interference call at 15:03, and there's still 3 seconds left in that Magician power play. By the way, we've just got notified on who the officials are. Former Minoters Dan Emery and Cody Baker are the referees out here tonight. So hard for me to recognize who it is with the helmets and stuff on. And Cole Jyrek and Patrick Coulter are the linesmen for today's affair.
Hey, don't forget, Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports is hosting their first annual Sled Hockey Classic. April 17th through 19th at the Mesa Arena. Youth and adult divisions. The Sled Hockey Classic is free to attend. Don't miss the Prairie Grid Adaptive Sports Sled Hockey Classic. You're going to want to show up at the Mesa Arena on April 17th through 19th. That's going to be a great event. Let's fill that place up for the Sled Hockey Classic. By the way, March 22nd comes up soon as well. Mark your calendar to attend the area's first ever one-stop senior shop. High school students and parents of high school students, come and get ideas for your prom and graduation needs. Find the One-Stop Senior Shop on Facebook.
Saying over on the girls bracket, Devils Lake and Grand Forks right now are 1-1 with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game. And the shots on goal, 15-14 going into the third period. So that's a low shot game. But Devils Lake, their netminder, Molly Black, has been just a godsend for them. She's a junior, and right now she's keeping Grand Forks at bay. There's just 3 minutes left in that hockey game, so it looks like they might be going to overtime.
Let's look at that girls bracket now as we take a look. Special thanks again to North Dakota High School Hockey.com, the official North Dakota High School hockey hub for the standings, results, stat leaders, everything high school hockey. Visit ndhighschoolhockey.com. Fargo Davies took on West Fargo earlier on today. Number 1 Davies against number 8 West Fargo. You mentioned that Davies got the win there. They move on to the semis. Devils Lake and Grand Forks, that's the 4 and 5 seeds in the girls bracket playing now. Tonight at 5 o'clock, Bismarck, the number 2 seed in the conference, takes on number 7 Mandan. And then in the nightcap tonight, number 3 Fargo North South takes on number 6 Minot on the girls' side. Boys bracket, Bismarck Century got pumped today by Fargo Davies 6-0 in the first game of the tournament. Fargo Davies is the real deal. They cruised in that matchup against Century. Here we are, the second game with Fargo South and Minot. On the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, it's 1-1. We're in our first intermission here at 5:30 tonight. Number 1 from the east, Grand Forks Red River takes on number 4 to the west, Jamestown. And then later on this evening, it's number 2, Bismarck High from the west, taking on number 3 from the east, Grand Forks Central, here in this matchup. Larry, one key for you from Minot High in the second if they want a shot to come out of here with a lead at the end of 2.
Keep on doing what you're doing. Right now, they're kind of trapping the Fargo South on the blue line. They're doing a good job of keeping them out of the zone as much as they can. And when they're getting across the blue line in on the Fargo South netminder, they're shooting the puck. And I haven't seen them do that a lot this year. They try to get closer. They try to make passes. Today they're getting in and they're shooting the puck. And they're getting a chance for some rebounds, hopefully. So just keep on doing what you're doing. I wouldn't change anything right now because the Magicians are right smack dab in the middle of this thing after 1 period of play.
Once again on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, 1-1 at the end of 1. Second period's next. You're listening to the State High School Hockey Tournament from Fargo on 1390 KRRZ and at the PSP.network. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, NMLS Equal Housing Lender.
Ryan Family Dealerships, new and used vehicles. They've got the best selection of the Magic City. DriveRyan.com. Check out the Ryan Family Dealerships that bring you the State High School Hockey Tournament along with all of our great sponsors that continue to deliver Minot High Magicians hockey and the tournament coverage here from the Fargo Shields Arena for the 2020 State High School Hockey Championships. Nick Holberg and Larry McFall. Magicians are out for the second, so are the South Bruins. What do you say? You ready for some more roasted almonds in a second period here?
No, the roasted almonds are taking a break, but hopefully the Magician offense won't. Let's see if they can get one in the net here early in the second period and start making the home team worry just a little bit.
Minot High will travel from the right to the left for the second period in their road maroon jerseys. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves trimmed out in Vegas gold and white. Fargo South, the Bruins. They'll travel from the left to the right for the second frame. They've got their white uniforms on, brown pants, yellow trim, white helmets, brown gloves. The B on the front of their uniform, what kind of font would you say that is for the Fargo South Bruins? Just a giant B on the front of the uniform, would you say? Do you know what type of font that is?
Do I? No, you're asking the wrong guy, Nick.
Thought you were an English major. I wasn't sure.
No, I can't remember going to an English class, to be honest with you.
We're underway for the second period as the Bruins bring it in, and Sandy brings it in front of the Minot High net. He fires on. Stop is made. And now Dan Emery's got a call on the Magicians, and what will it be here? Dan had to even it out, it looks like. So Hauser's going to the box for the Magicians, making Fillion. That's going in for the Magi on the hooking call.
That was Sandy coming in, cutting through the slot. Big save by Sortland. But the official thought that there was a hook involved, and the Magicians go to the box at 14 seconds.
Off the draw, South's got the puck at the point. Semp, the game's goal scorer for South, moves it back over to Sandy, down to the corner. Work back up to Sandy, top of the circle. This kid's deadly, 58 points for him on the year. Here's Morelli, takes it and fires it all the way down the length of the ice, and Morelli clears it for the Magi. Well, if there's one thing about the Magicians, they don't commit many penalties on the year. They've only been whistled for 88 through the 24 games that they've played this year, compared to the 109 they've drawn. Semp's back in. He fired one towards Sortland, but it hit the shin pads. They're a bone break. At the point, Sandy's got it. He works it up top, back over to Semp. He drops it down to the far side, top of the circle, out of the corner. It went from Kirkaby back to the point. Semp handles center slot at the point, over to Sandy. Glove side circle. Drop down, walking out. Sortland had to be there on the tee to make the stop. And the Magicians and Morelli fire right back to center as the Magi wear it down to a minute remaining on the South power play, their first of the night.
Nice save by Sortland down there in tight.
Puck's handled here by the Bruins. They've got the puck now with Zazana. He whistles one up and over the net. Puck's going to go all the way back to the other end of the ice. And Minot High's kills down to 45 seconds. One man aggressive. That's Luck. He's going to free it there to Hauser on the near wall. Luck back to Hauser. Offensive zone shorthanded. Puck's taken away now by the Bruins, and they're going to bring it back up to center with it. Crossing over the red line, that was Semp, taken away by Luck on the nice hard work there from Jaden Luck. That kid is such a good all-around player. His motor just doesn't stop for the Bruins. They've got it at center now over the Minot High stripe. Blocker side of Sortland. Down to 17 seconds on their first power play of the night. Puck comes back up to the point. Handled by the Bruins. Across from Carson Dean. He gets it back. Center slot, thought about it. Fired it towards the net. Hauser blocked it. Hauser gets in the way of that one. Comes back to Dean. Wrist shot coming. Bounce through the net. Through the legs in front of the net. And the Bruins are on the board.
And that's a power play goal with 1 second left in the power play. At the 2:13 mark will be that goal. And boy, the Magicians almost killed that, Nick. Down to 1 second. You just can't go in the box against these guys.
Well, the shot came up and deflected off a Minot High player in front of the net. Two players were in the way blocking that shot for Sortland. It bounced off of one of them, and it rolls back in behind Sortland through the 5-hole. He didn't even see it, and it's 2-1 Fargo South. Let's listen in.
in the second period. By number 20, Carson Dean.
Carson Dean gets the goal, assisted by Grant Gores.
2-1 on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard with 14:22 left here in the second. Faceoff coming down on Trey Sortland's blocker side. Hey, by the way, if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew and McKenna Goodmanson make your experience a positive one. Visit them today online at 701realty.com. At the point, shot comes in, loose in front of Sortland. Here come the Magi. They've got numbers. Fillian's in over the line with it. Fillian along here with Field. Fillian over to the side of the net. He works it out from behind the cage. Fillian then brings it away to the near side boards, and the Bruins just take it from Fillian and move it back into Minot High territory, back in behind Trey Sortland. On the retrieve is Riley Oprud. His stick was held behind the net, no call there. Dan Emery right in front of that one. Puck comes back up to the line at the point. Here's a slap shot that's going to find its way back into the circle on the blocker side. Spinning away with it now is Alex Semp. Trying to play keep away there. Worked down underneath the slot. Towards the cage it went for Sortland and went wide, and at the point again, it's Wench that's got it. Now the puck's taken here by the Magi, and they push up to center. Casey Field along with Hauser, 2-on-1 Magi. Here's the drive coming in front. Hauser ridden off on the play by Sandy, and Drew Sandy came all the way back and interrupted that party for the Magi. Puck's taken here by the Bruins. They're back up over center with it. Across the line from Drew Sandy. He's going to skate all the way down. Sandy tried to flip it up over Sortland's shoulder, but he shot it up and out of play.
Yeah, he got in just a little bit tight, so when he took the shot, he was so close that he had to try to get it up over Trey, and it went up over the crossbar and into the netting, and this is going to come outside of the zone to Sortland's left. 13 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the second period. Fargo South has just taken the 2-1 lead, and we've got a media timeout.
We're going to keep it right here for this media timeout and tell you once again that if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew and McKenna Goodmanson make your experience a positive one. Visit them online at 701realty.com. Hey, by the way, join KMOT TV Sports Director Ben Barr for all of your sports highlights from across the region. KMOT TV. Not only your sports leader, your only local news in the Magic City. KMOT TV at 6 and 10 p.m.
Grand Forks and Devil's Lake on the girls' side going into overtime as we speak. And the Devil's Lake, they don't have the third period shots posted yet. But, boy, a good effort by Devil's Lake to stay in that game.
Here in this one on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, it's 2-1 Fargo South thanks to a power play goal that was scored by number 20, Carson Dean. Only his second goal of the year, point number 8. Face-off in front of the Fargo South bench. In on the draws, Jaden Luck. He goes in against Kirkaby. Luck wins it back to Drady. Fargo South's got 3 state titles. They won it back in 94, 99, and 2006. They've taken a 14-year break. Is this the year for South? We both thought that they're a team that is to be reckoned with. Minot High putting up a pretty good fight right now. This 2-1 tilt. Luck's back behind the net. Tried to send it in front. Comes back up to the point. Drainey's going to send it in. Pad save rebound. Loose in front of the cage. Oh, Thongfet was on the doorstep. He sent that one wide. He fanned on it. Puck's going to come back underneath the goal line. Zazada's back to retrieve. Luck's all over him. Bruins are trying to clear. Murphy holds his own. Sends it in. Glove save from Sandy. He gobbled it up.
Boy, that puck was just laying in the slot. The net was open, and Thongfet just couldn't get the lumber on it. And that was a big missed opportunity by the Magicians to try to tie this hockey game. Just got heckled just a little bit by a Bruin that kept him from getting a good shot off.
12.5 to play in the second period. 2-1, Minot High trails as Oprud had the puck stripped from him and back into the offensive zone. Here comes the drive. Sending it 3 feet over the head was Gores. Back on the glove side of Trey Sortland down low. It's Deal with the puck for the Magicians. Moves it back over to Plemmel, trying to clear the zone for the Magi, but it's held in. Here's the drive from the line, and Dean whistles one in, and Sortland makes the stop.
Sortland down on the pillows, hits his logo and hangs on. As a couple of Bruins were lurking around for the rebound. This face-off will go to the right of Sortland. 12:07 remaining in period number 2.
Off the draw on the blocker side of Shortland. Puck's flipped up to center. Here's Jack Plebble. He's got the ball around on the retrieve. Unable to get it, but Fillion's got it. Fillion's in. Backhand shot safe on Sandy's blocker side. It comes and down low. It's sent in front. The puck in front of the net, and it's worked all the way back up to center where Riley Oprood's got it again. Oprood's going to turn and burn over center. Dumped it down to the corner. Blocker side of the goaltender, Sandy. On the retrieve for the Magi's, Fillion over there. The puck goes up and into the seats. Look out, Easton Bennett sitting in the seats here for Minot High, and Bennett grabs that one. If you remember Easton Bennett, he's the son of the coach, Jason Bennett. He's here enjoying some high school hockey today. In his career, he had 149 points for the Magi. He was also really good on the baseball field for the Minot Vistas and Minot High Magicians.
He must be the way he caught that puck.
And he had no doubt about catching that howitzer that came up to him up in the seats. He makes the stop.
And did you see, without missing a beat, he flung it right back down to the linesman.
Threw it onto the ice. Would have been a classier move if he would have dished that off to a kid somewhere, but then again, what do you do?
Must be a Cub fan.
Nevertheless, a great catch from Easton Bennett here in the seats today. 11 minutes, 8 seconds left here in this second period. 2-1, Minot High trailing Fargo South as the Bruins have it in the offensive zone again. In front of the Minot High net, puck's going to go back away to Sandy. He wheels and deals down to the corner. Sandy's got it tied up down low. Zach Deal comes over and pokes it free, pitchforked it ahead. Minot High's going to go to the power play here. They touch it. You got to be kidding me. Dan Emery's going to call a hooking call of the Magi in that play? Come on, Dan. 2 minutes and a second, or 2-1 the score here in this second period.
6:14 is the time of the penalty. It's going to be a hooking on Deal.
If you're watching the game on TV, you'll see what Sandy did. He pinched the stick in between the arm and the side of the body and ripped the stick out of Deal's hands. He pinched the stick. In my mind, that's a holding call on Sandy, if anything, not a hooking call on Deal. Second power plays out for the Bruins. Puck comes back up to Sandy. He's got it here, top of the circle. Loose in front of the net. Now it's dished down low. Shot. Sortland made the save, and the puck goes down to the corner. Second power play of the afternoon where the Bruins have gone 1 for 1 here in the hockey game. Sandy back down low. He's got it again, top of the circle. One-timer coming. Sam put it ahead forward. Morelli stopped that one, and the puck goes back away to the top of the circle on the far wing. Dropped down again with the puck handling here. On with it, Zazana goes back to Sandy at the point. Top of the circle, glove side. Semp down to the corner. Getting a stick on it was Tice momentarily. A minute 14 of power play time for the Bruins. Under 10 to play here in the second. Puck is going to be handled by the Bruins. Down low to Sandy. Works it back. Sandy's got it again. Fired it in front. Tice blocked it. It was gloved and knocked down. Then it's going to be pushed at the side of the net. Still loose. Tice gets it back. Fires it right into traffic. Then he fires it up the wall. The Bruins hold the zone. Puck comes back up to the point. Over to Sandy. Top of the circle from the corner. Sent in front. Comes away now to Murphy. And Murphy's going to put it off the glass. And all the way down for the Magi. 40 seconds remaining on the kill for the Magicians. And Tice did his part there on the Magician penalty kill. Back the other way up to center ice come the Bruins with it into the offensive zone. Now it's handled by Zemp here on the glove side. Zemp takes it down low on the blocker side. Works it out back to the top of the circle. Across the blue line. Right at us he comes. Now he walks in. Glove side. Fires top shelf. He scored.
And that's going to be another power play goal, as there was 18 seconds remaining, and that goal comes at 7:56 of this period. And boy, Sandy was a craftsman there, actually holding. I thought, I agreed with you, Nick, holding onto the Magician's stick and somehow getting a hooking out of it.
Somebody school me on this if I'm wrong, and I hate to get so passionate about it. Dan Emery's a good friend of mine, but somebody teach me a lesson if I'm wrong here. There's no way that that's a call on the Magicians. And so often we see that where Minot High is the least penalized team in the entire WDA, and then they get to the state tournament and have a former Minot ref, and they just get lit up. 2 penalties early in the game for the Magi when they only averaged 3 on the season per contest on a holding call that I didn't think was right. Plemmel was hit from behind the net. He's still down. Puck taken here by the Bruins, and they're back up to center with it. Way on the near side wing.
Oh, way
side.
offside.
Puck's back underneath the net. Defensive zone for the Magi. Back up to Plemmel. He's going to chip this one ahead forward. In the foot race down is Fillion. Puck comes back away on the far wall. And with it now are the Bruins that go back up to center. They just dump and chase behind Sortland. 8:18 left here in the second period. 3-1 Fargo South on top on the Prime Ryan scoreboard here today. Puck comes all the way back into Fargo South territory. Puck's going to go up off the dasher just inside the blue line blocker side of the goaltender Sandy. We're back on the retrieve as Zazana, who's got it here. Zazana moves it up the near side wall with the puck. Zazana's got it back, goes to his partner in the D territory, bumped up over center. Hopperud's got it back. The Magicians are down by 2, courtesy of 2 power play goals in the hockey game for Fargo South. With the puck now is Hopperud back in his own territory. By the way, Alex Semp has both of those goals, 22 and 23 on the year for his goal production. Points 55 and 56 on the season. He's only a sophomore.
And that was unassisted also.
Puck is handled down in the corner by the Magicians. Blocker side of the goaltender Sandy. A scrum for it. The Magicians cheerleaders are on the glass, so you can't see that area of the ice. They create a blind spot there. Puck comes back up to Hopperud. He shoots one on goal, and Sandy forced to make the stop with 7:09 left in a 3-1 second. South on top.
Well, that power play and the series before that, we got a media timeout here, has put the Magicians way down on the shots on goal.
Well, we'll keep it here. 3-1 the score on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. Bonnet High trailing in this one. Your thoughts? Am I out of line on saying that? It looked like Zach Deal on that power play got the stick up there, scrumming for the puck as you do in hockey all the time. It was Sandy then that pinched the arm against the side of his body, and letting go of the stick was Deal. To me, that's a holding call as he was holding Deal's stick. Am I out of line in saying that?
No, I agree with you on that, and that's why Sandy is a prolific player, because he can do that stuff and make it look like it's on the other player. But boy, you just can't, I don't know, honestly, you just can't make a call like that. That could have turned this hockey game. Now it's 3-1. Do the Magicians have enough to try to dig down deep and come back now? That could be a real killer.
And my answer to that is yes, but they don't have to play the refs and Fargo South today. That's the only frustration that I get out of the whole deal. And again, props to Dan Emery. He's a great guy. He's a buddy of mine, absolutely. I think he's a great guy, and when we talk about this, as I know we will, because that's what's going to happen, there's replays of these games online, I'm going to ask him. Then I'm going to show him the video and ask him again. Was this, tell me where I need to learn the game better, because I'm preaching it to you, the fans, and I am passionate about Minot High hockey, so that's what you get when you mix those two together, and when you're trailing Fargo South at the tournament, sometimes that can happen. Up to center ice, Alex Semp's going to move it back into the offensive territory. Fancy move in on Sortland, and Trey made the stop. He goes down onto the pillows and makes the save. 6:45 left in the second. The Magi trail by 2.
Semp starting to shine in this game with 2 unassisted goals. And sophomore there got past the Magician defense and came in tight on Sortland. Sortland pounced down on his belly to make the save. And Semp right now is picking it up a notch for South.
Off the draw, puck is won back here to the Magicians. Thongfett moved it up to center, got over Plemmel's stick, and on the retrieve here for South is Zazada. Goes away to the far side wing and up to center ice. Fillion had it momentarily. His dad, Tom Fillion, will be on the show here coming up at the break. Former Mr. Hockey winner from 1993. His son, Peyton, trying to get the Magicians back into the contest, trailing 3-1, but here come the Bruins, 2-on-1 into offensive territory. Semp's hat trick.
Unbelievable. Semp with a beautiful tip in as he was cutting in between the dot and the net. And no answer by Sortland on that goal. That was a tough one. And that comes at 10:47. Period number 2, and that's 3 unanswered for Fargo South. Semp's got the hattie.
Hat trick for Semp. We'll wait for the official calls on the assist. I believe it's going to be Sandy that's going to get the credit there, and it's 4-1 Fargo South. Midway through the hockey game with 6:10 remaining. Larry, if you don't mind, if you can listen in. Puck handled here by Deal, puts it up the wall, the far side wing. Held at center is Hauser. No call on that play. Puck is taken here by the Bruins. They work it back away to the near side wing. And now it's going to be brought back into Magi territory here by the Bruins.
Zach Boren getting an assist on that one, and Sandy on that goal by Semp.
Bruins have control of the puck in the offensive zone, but it's the Magi's. Bone break trying to clear it. Puck then taken by Hauser. Puts it up off the glass. Held it at the line. Zazada moved it down to the corner. With it here goes Gores. He's going to move it back underneath the net, back to the top of the circle, and at the point, handling again. Zazada sends it in. That one tipped in front, went wide of the corner. Operud, first one there for the Magi. Puck is taken here now by the Bruins. They work it back up to the point. Zazada's got it back. He moves it down to the corner again, and with the puck, it's the Bruins tied up down low out of the corner with it. This is Jake Bryant, tried to center it. Operud puts it off the boards, but he can't clear it out. Puck goes back to Bonebreak. Back in behind the net of Trey Sortland. Now it's fired up off the glass. The Minot High rolls it all the way down into offensive territory. It's an icing. Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 4-1. Fargo South with under 5 to play in the second.
We're going into double overtime. Devils Lake and Grand Forks in girls hockey.
We've got immediate timeout. We're going to do the same thing. You're listening to state tournament coverage of Minot High Magicians hockey.
On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They have tonight's call and every Nickelback album. Back to the voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Well, the TV coverage is here. You can go back and watch the highlight if you'd like. Tell me I'm wrong, but a couple soft calls against the Magicians find Fargo South with back-to-back power play goals. The wind is completely taken out of the sails, and the waves are rolling right now for the South Bruins. They lead 4-1 on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard here with 4:54 left in the second. Nick Murphy races to the other end of the ice, turns it towards the net. Sandy made the stop, and he hangs on to it. Face-off will come on his blocker side.
The Magicians definitely planned out that ricochet bomb pass. That was a nice play. And Murphy, good hustle to get there, got the shot off. And again, another save by Sandy. And lurking, waiting for that rebound was Isaiah Thongfett. But hanging on to it was Sandy here, with 4:49 remaining in the second.
On the blocker side of Sandy, puck is taken here by his brother Drew up to center ice, and Drew Sandy's in, gets around Thongfett. It's 5-1.
Well, Drew Sandy just proved why he had all those points this season, as he skated in there all the way around all the Magicians, past Thongfett, the last line of defense, and backhanded that one past Sortland, and the route is on here at the Shields Arena. That goal coming at 12:22.
Well, Drew Sandy's a special player. You see that coming into this tournament. He had 58 points coming in. And Fargo South is embarrassing Minot High right now, 5-1 here in the second period. Puck's retrieved by Bonebreak back in his own territory. Went back over to Operud. Bonebreak's got it back. He's going to dump it in from center. And back on the retrieve for the Bruins back in their own territory. Puck's moved away on the near side wall, and here comes Fargo South trying to move it back up over center. They can't do it. It's held in there by the Magicians. It's Bonebreak that puts it back down to the corner. Larry, if you don't mind, please listen in for the assists on the Sandy goal. Puck comes back away on the blocker side of the net keeper for the Bruins. Sandy, puck's taken here and hammered off the glass by Zazada. It rolls all the way back into Magi territory. Operud's back on the retrieve, and Riley Operud takes it and puts it up off the glass up to Jack Plemmel.
There was no assist on that. Sandy by himself at 12:22.
Morelli dumped it in from center for the Magi. Operud's the one-man aggressive down deep. It's taken away here by the Bruins, and they come out to center again. into the offensive zone. That's a 1.5 offsides on Fargo South, so we'll face it off back in the neutral ice territory. 5-1 South on top of it on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. It's been all South in the second period. Back-to-back power play goals, and they have scored 4 unanswered to put them in the driver's seat of this one. 3:27 left here in the middle frame, and Minot High is deflated. Here comes Hauser trying to change that. Offensive territory, fired one up towards the head of Sandy. Sent it over the cage. Puck comes back down to Thongfett, and Thongfett's going to move it ahead forward. Then the Bruins just moved it right back the other way. Hauser's going to get it again, and Hauser's going to dump it into the corner from the far side. On the retrieve for the Magicians, this is Casey Field going to work for the Magi. Down low, but it's the Bruins that have the puck again. This is Carson Dean up to center ice. Moved in ahead there to Jake Brandt. The Magicians get it back with Drady. Drady moved in ahead forward to Hauser. And on the near side wing, Hauser is going to be hit there, and the puck's freed back to the Bruins. They come back to center ice with it. At center, Minot High's got it here with Isaiah Thongfett. Spin move, got it back to Field. In front of the net, make that Hauser instead, but the Bruins defense collapses. They free the puck and send it up to Carson Dean, who sends it down. There's an icing on the play with 2:31 left in our second. 5-1 South on top.
The Magicians just obviously feeling shell-shocked after those 2 power plays did them in, and now Semp and Sandy have decided to put on their show, and we knew they were good, and they're showing us now. You put those 2 things together, and the Magicians down by 4.
Well, Fargo South came into the matchup today with 3 players with 30-plus points. That's special. That's something that you don't see very often. They've got 5 players with 10-plus goals. After that first line, they kind of fall off as far as point production. Minot High goes deeper than they do, but right now it's South of that top talent, as Larry mentioned, that has Minot High down to this one. The hat trick for Semp here today. Alex Semp, 57 points on the year now with the 3 goals for the Bruins. Puck is hammered the length of the ice. Sandy forced to play it from the goal paint. Work back up to center, taken and hammered in by Operud. Sandy was out of the net to play it there. We knew South was going to score some goals. They've scored 102 times on the year. Compared to the 30 goals that they've given up, this has been a war machine of a hockey team. Second in the EDC when it was all said and done. Loose in front of the net. Shot, Sortland save, forced to make another one. And then Bonebrink just gives the puck right back to Sandy, and Sandy's got it again.
There's a slash.
And now we've got a call coming here. It's Dan Emery that's got the call.
And Sandy is going to the box for that slash. And the time of that penalty is going to be 15:31. By the way, lifetime record between these 2 teams. Minot High holds a 10-9 advantage. They've played 19 times through the history, and Minot came into this game with 1 more win than Fargo South.
Magi power plays back out, up top, Root at the line. He's got it here. The Magicians trail by 4. Second power plays out of the day. Puck comes back away to Deal on the near side, top of the circle. Back up to the point. Operud sends it in, loose in front of the net. Still loose in front of the paint.
Oh, man.
Puck comes back to Deal. Scrumming forward. Still loose there. The puck is poked out, and it's sent all the way back into Minot High territory, where Operud's back on the retrieve for the Magicians. Here's Riley Operud with 1 minute left in the second period. 20 points on the year for the All-West Region player. But it's the Bruins that take the puck, and they launch this one all the way back down on the glove side of Trey Sortland. 48 seconds left in the second. This has been a nightmare period for the Magi. 4 unanswered from the Bruins as Operud has it back. Bottom of the circle, back up over to Murphy at the line. Sent it back away now to Deal, and Deal's going to cycle it back down underneath the cage. A half a minute to play. Operud at the point. Handling here, dished off back to Murphy. Top of the circle, Operud at the line. Operud thought about it. He just skates it back up. Here's the shot coming. That one wide. Puck's taken here by the Bruins, and they're going to skate out to center. Operud took it away. We're down to the final 16 seconds here of the period. Kids, get ready to count them down. Back into the zone. Morelli fires on. Stick save. We're at 8. Kids count them down. 7. Now 6 to the corner. Scrum for the puck here. Still tied up with it. Away come the Bruins. They're going to tie up behind the net, and that's the end of the second period. Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 5-1 Fargo South after back-to-back power play goals for the Bruins. First International Bank and Trust Second intermission report comes up. We'll talk to Tom Fillion, the greatest all-time at Minot High, or at least in the conversation. We'll hear what Mr. Hockey 1993 has to say at the end of 2 periods. On the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, it's 5-1 Fargo South here in the state quarterfinals. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
My name is Marshall Canott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
It's time for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
2 periods complete from the Shields Arena in Fargo at the state quarterfinals. Minot High trailing Fargo South 5-1 at the end of 2 periods played on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard. Nick Holberg and Larry McFall. Larry, if you can, give us the recap of the scoring before we talk to Mr. Tom Fillion.
Yeah, the game started out with Alex Semp scoring an unassisted goal at 4:11 to give Fargo the 1-0 lead, but then on a nice play by Nicholas Murphy over to Jack Plemmel, Plemmel buried it at 7:25 to make it a 1-1 hockey game. And then in the second period, a power play goal by Carson Dean on an assist by Grant Gores gave the Fargo South Bruins the 2-1 lead. And then Alex Semp on another power play on a very questionable call that I think turned the whole game. Instead of Minot being in it, they're down 3-1 now. Then Semp danced in again on a nice goal from Boren and Drew Sandy. And then Drew Sandy worked his own magic at 12:22 to make this game practically out of reach at 5-1. Penalties called in the game, 2 on Fargo and 2 on Minot, so that's 4 minutes apiece there. Goaltender saves, so far in the game. For Sandy of Fargo South, he's got 14 saves. And for Trey Sortland of the Magicians, he's got 19 saves on 24 shots. 5-1 hockey game right now for Fargo South.
Well, we've got the opportunity now. Thank you, Larry, by the way. We've got the opportunity now to have a special conversation with the greatest all time at Minot High, or at least in the conversation as one of the greatest of all time. He was Mr. Hockey for the entire state of North Dakota back in 1993. Led the Magicians to the state championship in the first ever back in 1992. Mr. Tom Philly. And Tom, first of all, thanks for some time here today, man.
No problem, Nick.
I was probably your biggest fan back in 1992 when you got the win over Bismarck 8-7. First of all, your thoughts on this game? 5-1, Fargo South on top. Your son Peyton, the captain of this hockey team. Obviously, this is a frustrating one for anyone in maroon and gold here today. Is this out of reach for Minot High at this point?
It's really, really close, I'll put it that way. We need something to happen pretty quick when we come out for the third, and then we'll go from there. But no, first period was way better than the last period. We fell asleep for a couple minutes there, and all of a sudden it's 5-1. You know, that's how it goes.
Fargo South is a good hockey team. This is a Minot team that has a very bright future as well. Your son is one of 4 that's going to graduate. Touch on that just for a moment, Tom, what that's been like watching your son play for Minot High and wear number 10 just like you did. That has to be pretty special, hey?
It is special. You know, and Peyton's had some success in his career, and he plays hard, and he's the captain of the team, so I'm proud of him all the way around there. It is fun to watch. He plays a little different than I ever did. And it's weird when they get to be that age, because you don't feel old enough to have a kid that's that age, right? And but you know, with the 4 that are graduating this year, kind of special to me because I coached them all the way from the time they were 6 until, well, they're out the door now. So it's amazing how you start with a big group and it ends up with what we got here.
Is it ever hard for you to watch Minot High Magicians hockey with the dominance that you had back in the early 90s? How often are you sitting up there biting your tongue and not yelling and losing your mind up in the booth?
Well, there's a reason I stand by myself away from everybody else, because it is tough. And you know, like anything else, it's easy when you're watching. When you're doing it, it's a little bit different. But the thing is, the kids, you know, you just want them to have some success, play hard, and they don't know yet that the opportunities are limited, right? To these guys, that they're going to be playing next week until next week comes, and they're not playing. But it is. I would much rather be on the ice than up in the stands.
In 1993, you were named the West Region's 3rd ever Mr. Hockey, the 4th all-time Mr. Hockey. You ended up having a great career. You moved on to play at North Dakota. That was after 1992, where Minot High won the state championship for the first time ever that a West team did it, beating Bismarck 8-7. What's your biggest memory of that state championship day? When I ask you that, what comes to mind first?
Honestly, it was the reaction of the Minot fans that I'll remember more than anything. That was my 2nd year in Crosby, coming from Crosby, and we didn't think that we had a chance to win any of that. And honestly, when we won, we thought we'd do it again. So, but you could tell just from the reaction of the guys from the West, Larry being one of them here, just people that grabbed you after the game and gave you a hug. Guys I'd never even met before, parents coming up and crying. That's what I'll remember more than any of the games, that it meant so much to not even the guys that were on the ice. I mean, we were just kids playing a game, you know?
And it was a game that goes down in history as the biggest ever for the West region, an all-West final, Minot and Bismarck. In that tournament, Tom, you ended up with 15 points in that tournament. Most goals, 15 goals in the tournament. Let me start over. Minot High had the most goals in the tournament with 15. Your record is 12 points in that tournament, 12 goals, 3 assists for 15 points. I get next to Tom Philly, and I just lose my mind here. Oh, my goodness. Let me start over one more time.
No, wait, I'll help you a little bit. So the 12 goals and 3 assists that you see in the book, that must be Dennis's. So I tied with Dennis Johnson. I had 8 goals and 7 assists, so I was even. It was my stuff was more of a team deal than I mean, I had guys that could bury the puck. So I got lucky to get my 15 points. And what's weird is as we get farther and farther away from that, everybody thinks I had 500 goals in that last last game. I had 2. I had the last 2. That was it. But, my game was a lot of us. I had 2. I had Mike Blessom with me, Matt Nelson, and they buried the puck. So, it wasn't as hard as it seems, and it wasn't just me, put it that way.
The tradition of Minot High hockey, at that time when Minot High won the state championship, did you have any idea what kind of impact that was going to have on the community and the hockey program in Minot with your success at the state tournament in '92?
None. Like I said, I hadn't lived through the stuff that the Minot hockey program had come about. I came here as a sophomore, coming from Crosby. State tournaments, state championships, we'd win. We won state championships, so it was no big deal. I shouldn't say big deal to me, but I didn't think it was that big of a lasting impact. And ever since then, you've lived it, right? That's the 2015 is just as big, because the kids that were 2015, they don't remember the '92. Most of those guys weren't even born, so for it to happen, it's got to happen regularly, so the guys get an idea that this can happen, right?
You went on to play at North Dakota. Do you have a memory from your college hockey days that stands out to you? That was quite the honor playing for the Fighting Sioux, huh?
Well, most of the memories that you have when you get to that level has nothing to do with the hockey. It's the guys, it's the hanging out when you're there over vacations when the only people on campus are you, maybe the basketball team, some wrestlers. That's it. So you spend all your time with each other. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but those are the things that you remember when you're done. The hockey was just something you did together. The rest was hanging out because you liked each other.
Tom, we sure appreciate your time today. You're an icon of Minot hockey, so much so that I read stats all day. I get you on the headset, and I start sounding like I should go back to school here. We appreciate your time.
Hey,
Thanks for everything. It's been fun to be a part of Magicians hockey, and you're a big reason for that.
Thanks. I just want to say thanks to you, too, for putting these games on the air. It's great for the kids and great for everybody else to get to listen, because a lot of the times getting around North Dakota is not the easiest thing, so thanks for everything you guys do.
Sure appreciate you. That's Tom Fillion. He's in the record book with the most points in the state high school hockey tournament. It says 12 goals, 3 assists, make it 8 and 7 for Mr. Fillion, Mr. Hockey, back in 1993, part of that state championship team in '92. When we come back, we're going to face off the third. Minot High's down big. It's 5-1 South at the end of the second on the Ryan Family Dealerships scoreboard. When we come back, we'll face off the third. This is Minot High Magicians hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 5-1 Fargo South. Minot High's looking for a prayer here in the third. Nick Holberg and Larry McFall for the call on the PSP Network. And on 1390KRRZ.com. My girlfriend Paige back in the Magic City. She's fantastic, by the way. Just the greatest support of all time, helping me with all these games across the board with basketball and hockey. She just texted me and said, "You sound more nervous in front of Tom Fillion than you ever sounded in front of me in your entire life." That was almost embarrassing talking to Mr. Hockey 1993. That guy still carries a presence, doesn't he?
Yeah, and of course, I couldn't hear too much with all the noise in here. I didn't hear what Tom was saying, but I did catch him talking about how it meant so much to so many other people, while it didn't really mean that much to those guys at that time. And yes, a lot of us were in the crowd crying that night, tears of joy. And now at the stage of life, now he understands what that's all about.
Here's those 2 tournament records, by the way, as we're underway for the third. Most goals in a championship game, 15. And that's between the 2 teams, Minot and Bismarck. Minot won 8-7. points in a tournament belongs to Tom Fillion and Dennis Johnson from Grand Forks Central from 1970. 12 goals, 3 assists for 15 points. So Tom did have 15 points in the tournament as well. They have the number wrong for him. He had 8 goals and 7 assists in that tournament.
I was wondering about that.
Back the other way for the Magicians into the offensive zone. He fired it in. Glove save from Sandy. Here come the Bruins back to center ice with it. Sandy's back in over the Minot High stripe. Fired down to the corner. It's 7-1, 6-1 as the puck's put in between the pillows, and Sandy's got another one.
He hammered it in between the 5-hole on Sortland from a very bad angle. I don't see how that one went in. That's going to be at 1:05 here of period number 3.
By the way, Minot High's made a goaltender change to start the third. Noah Conklin came in for the Magicians. Sortland's day was done. Gosh, you just hate to see that for Trey. Such a hard-working kid, all-West player. Gave up 5 through the first and second. They put in Conklin, and Conklin's first shot of the game is against the state's top point producer that's still in action. Ian Amsbaugh from Botno is the one that led the way for the entire year. His season's done. So now Fargo South's got Drew Sandy up top, and the first shot he fires on Conklin finds its way to the back of the net.
And unassisted by Sandy on that one as well.
2 goals and an assist in the hockey game for Sandy. Alex Semp's got a hat trick for Fargo South. And the Bruins have it in overdrive at 6-1. Fargo South putting it to Minot High here in this quarterfinal matchup. The Bruins are going to bring it back into Minot High territory with Alex Semp. Semp top of the circle, fancy move, another one, a drive. Big stop there from Conklin. Puck goes back into the corner now for Thong. Fenny's going to work it back up to the point. Bruins work it back down over into the corner and underneath the net. Here come the Bruins again, back in behind Conklin. Wrap around, save is made. Loose on the side of the paint. Conklin went down to the pillows to try to grab it. And the Bruins are away with the puck. 6-1. Fargo South on top of Minot High here this afternoon. 14:40 left in the hockey game. They score one more and it goes to run time. Here's a drive on goal, shot save. They do it, and it's 7-1 Fargo South.
They stuffed that one in at the 2:24 mark here of period number 3. Just a scrum in front of the net. And Conklin down trying to make the save and did not see who poked that in.
I think it's Semp again, Larry. That would be his 4th of the hockey game. We'll have to listen in. Well, it's run time here at the Shields Arena in Fargo. Fargo South, without a doubt, is going to move on to the semifinals to play Fargo Davies tomorrow. We'll listen in here in a moment. It's actually 11. Icing on the Bruins. Semp gets the assist. There's a timeout on the ice. We're going to do the same thing. Fargo South's got it in overdrive. It's 7-1. You're listening to Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard reads 7-1 Fargo South. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, new or used, Minot's best selection is found at driveryan.com. Well, Minot High is ready to drive out of the rink. Get ready for tomorrow to take on Bismarck Century and lose their outplay, because this one is pretty much all over but the crying for the Magi. Fargo South is putting it to them right now, 7-1. Larry, your thoughts on this hockey game?
It's just a shame that the 2 power plays changed the whole game. It was a very tight, good game, and once the Magicians gave up those 2 power play goals, the roof fell in on the Magicians here.
The roof fell in. You can't blame it on the power plays that South converted on, but they have a huge part of this. And you talk to anybody, I'm not going to name names, but there's some names that you would probably think would have some pull, say the same stuff. Facebook Messenger coming in, people seeing it on TV and things like that. A couple soft calls that the Bruins have capitalized on. It just took all the wind out of the Magi sails. And at that point, Fargo South put it in overdrive about it high. The young hockey team that they are, they would limp back to the locker room down 5-1 after 2 periods, and now it's 7-1 here in the third. Fargo South in the driver's seat. Dumped in from center by the Bruins. Conklin played it back in behind the net with the puck. Here come the Magi up to Dawson Knutson, who spins it up on the near side wall. Fired back in behind the net of Conklin. He leaves it there for Riley Opperud. High off the glass, and it goes out to center. Flipped up there by the Bruins. They work it back into Magi territory. After that first period, when it was 1-1, Minot people were in here kind of looking around going like, hey, we're in this thing. I told you, I said, I think we're going to win this hockey game. A couple power plays later for the Bruins, and next thing you know, it's 7-1 before anyone could say Charlie Brown, and it's been a long afternoon for the Maroon and Gold. Underneath the net for Luck, trying to fire it back over. Morelli's got it now, and here's Morelli back up to the point for Bonebreak. Puck is taken out to center. Bonebreak's got it again. He's going to fire it in towards the left of Sandy, the net keeper. It went wide of him, and now the puck's going to be moved back up to center. Well, I'll make a prediction right now, Larry. Zach Sandy's either not going to be playing at Fargo South next year, or he's going to be the East Region Senior Athlete of the Year. He's been fantastic all year long for the Bruins with a 117 goals against average and a 95% save percentage. In 13 of the 24 games they've played this year, he's given up 1 or less. He's got 1 against him here today, and he's got his Bruins in the driver's seat. He's only a junior.
You know, and his brother Drew Sandy and Alex Semp have also shown us why they were 2 of the top scorers in the state as well. Even with those power plays, Semp and Sandy have definitely taken control of this game, and I don't really think that now that actually mattered except for the momentum change, and that was the big thing that I thought happened to him.
I think that you heard it best from Tom Philly and Pucks about it high's defensive zone. The confidence factor. When you got a player like Tom Philly who moved to Minot from Crosby, they were winning midget titles left and right over there, icing on the Magicians, by the way. Like Tom said, he thought that they're coming to Minot. They're going to go over there and win that thing. He had no other thought in his mind that they were going to win the state championship, because that's what you do. You know what I mean? You're not up against that mental block that the Magicians traditionally have been in. I mean, hell, they went 22 years without winning an opening round game at the tournament until they finally did it back in 2014, courtesy of Hayden Schwarz, game winner. And you look at that confidence and that mental block and the way that the brain works in sports psychology, I would say 2,000% that those 2 calls in that second period that resulted in power play tallies back-to-back for South are the game changer in this hockey game.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time not to take that with me, on to tonight and have a debate that I'm sure is going to be brought up with it. We do our best, by the way. I mean, try thinking about the thing that you're the most passionate about all time, and then put a headset on and have to watch that thing not go the way you'd like it to and speak on behalf of everybody in the arena in the same way. Good luck. Semp's back in with it. That's my best apology I've got today, by the way. 7-1 Bruins on top on the drive. Ryan, scoreboard here today. 9:30 left in the hockey game, and it's Minot High's Riley Opperud trying to clear it out. Puck comes back away on the blocker's side of Conklin. He's given up 2 of the hockey game. Came in relief for Trey Sortland. Minot High's going to play Century tomorrow. We got to get up bright and early for that one, by the way, Larry.
Yeah, it's going to... Sunshine bracket comes early at the state tournament. Been there and done that quite a few times.
Slap shot from Plemmel was stopped by Sandy. That game's at noon. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, it's at 11 a.m.
No, it's at 11.
Oh, even
You're trying
better.
to buy an extra hour.
Mountain time. Puck taken and sent back in behind the net of Sandy. We're down 8:49 left here in the third period. 7-1. South on top. Puck's going to come back into the Minot High D zone. In on the opportunity, a drive and a goal. Putting it to the back of the net is Jake Bryant. He scores, and Bryant's got his 13th point of the year, and it's 8-1.
That'll be at 8:21 of the third period as the clock keeps running.
Well, in Minot High's defense, or in the same breath, we should say that we both picked Fargo South to win the state high school hockey tournament this year.
Yes, we did.
And you're seeing a team right now that is putting it to Minot High and putting the wood to them big time, 8-1. Minot High went 13-1 in the West. They were the West Region regular season champs. Drive in front of the net again. Conklin forced to make the stop. Here comes Dawson Knudsen, dumping it down into the corner, back behind Sandy, who's under the net to play it. That kid plays the puck well also. He kind of battled a little bit in the first period, but Sandy's been good here in the second. On the touch for the Magi. Slap shot from the point, went wide.
Jake Bryant getting the goal, the assist from Hunter Hannison, the junior, at 8:21.
Puck falls down at center for Bissett. Worked it back away over to the far side wing, dumped in from Knudsen out to play it. Is Sandy in behind the cage. The Magi went for a 5-for-5 change. Bruins are going to fire this one out to center. On the retrieve is Riley Oproot at neutral ice. Now Knudsen. Make that Hauser between the legs. Fancy move. Minot High coughed the puck over, and it's Sandy that's going to push out to center with the help there of Carson Dean. Make that 29 Flanagan instead. And now an offsides call. 8-1 Fargo South on the Drive Ryan scoreboard. It's been all South here in this one. 7:08 left here in the hockey game. We'll come back and have the grand finale of this quarterfinal matchup. You're listening to Minot High Magicians Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. They have tonight's call and every Nickelback album. Back to the voices of Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
Grand Forks Central's the three-time state champion. Is someone going to dethrone the Knights here in this tournament? 7:08 left in this matchup. 8-1 Fargo South on top of Minot. Nick Holberg and Larry McFall.
See, you mentioned Sam Bissett, who got into one of those last shifts. His dad, of course, Ryan Bissett. His best friend, Donnie Schatz, is here. One of the best sprint car drivers in the country. Is up in the official suite right now. Donnie Schatz, of course, the 10-time World of Outlaw champion, here visiting the Bissetts down here at the state tournament. Nice to see Donnie Schatz, who's a former Minot High player, by the way. He was on Ryan Bissett's line, is here watching.
If you know anything about sprint cars, you know that Donnie is one of the greatest all time. Aiden Eckert comes into the hockey game for Fargo South. The juniors played in one period here this year. 80% save percentage and a 3 goals against average. He replaces Zach Sandy, who didn't have a big workload here today. He gave up 1 in this 8-1 affair with 6:26 left in the third. Puck's down to the corner, blocker side of Conklin. Minot High's got to be up tomorrow to play at 11 a.m. against Bismarck Century. Puck's out of play on the Bruins, so we'll face it off back in the neutral ice zone. Hey Larry, by the way, Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports is hosting their first annual Sled Hockey Classic, April 17th through the 19th at the Mesa Arena. Youth and adult divisions. The Sled Hockey Classic is free to attend. Don't miss the Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports Sled Hockey Classic coming to the Magic City on April 17th, ending on the 19th. Hope you join us at the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena for that Sled Hockey Classic. Off the draw, the puck came into the glove of Conklin. He hung on tight to it. The faceoff will come on his blocker side.
Yeah, big glove save there. Nice save by Conklin on that sharp shot. Girls hockey, Grand Forks and Devils Lake are headed to triple overtime next door in the Farmers Union rink as they battle to see who gets into the semifinals. Wow. Triple overtime. That's got to be intense over there.
that goaltender, Black for Devil's Lake, has been so good all year long. You almost have to pull for that young lady. She's been fantastic. 5:27 left here in the third period.
Yeah, she's got 36 shots on her today. She's got 35 saves. The Grand Forks goalie, Kaylee Baker, though, same thing. She's been busy. She's got 32 saves in that game.
On the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard of this one, 8-1, Fargo South on top. New and used, Minot's best selection if you're in the market for a new vehicle. Visit driveryan.com. Well, tomorrow Century and Minot High are going to play in the loser out bracket. That's going to be a rematch of 2 games this year that Minot High swept the Patriots in.
Breakfast at the Shields.
We'll be on the rink next door.
Breakfast at the Farmers Union rink.
Breakfast at the Farmers Union rink. Well, that'll be fun.
I wonder what they're serving.
Well, if they're in the media room, they've got these little pretzels up there that are salted with
that's a good breakfast.
Cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as red
Diabetic
pepper.
nightmare.
Not quite as good as the red pepper.
No.
Or your roasted almonds, but either way.
Oh, roasted almonds.
Shot from the line, stop there from Conklin. Puck's going to be worked up to center ice, and with it for the Bruins is Carson Dean. Central plays Bismarck High tonight, and Red River plays Jamestown next. It could be an all-East sweep here at the State High School Hockey Tournament. It's been embarrassing so far for the West Region. I mean that with all the respect in the world. Minot and Century, the West Region champions, and the West Region regular season champions, not having a very good day here today. Davies beat Century earlier 6-0. This one's 8-1 with under 4.5 now to play here in this third period. Minot trailing South. Puck sent into the south zone. Blocker side of the goaltender Eckert, who came into the contest. Fillian's got it. Turns it on goal. Eckert makes a save loose in front of the net. Fargo South fans like their backup goaltender. Here they come alive. Slap shot from the line. Tipped in front of the net. Went down to the corner. Grayson Wetch on the retrieve. And Semp's got it again. 3 goals in the hockey game for Alex Semp. He's been fantastic here in the tournament. Tournament just started. He's got more points than anybody else at this point at the 2020 State High School Hockey Tournament here at the Shields Arena at Fargo. South's got the puck again in the offensive zone. Conklin's glove side. With it now, the puck to the top of the circle. Minot High trying to move it there with Thong. Fent on top of it as a South player, so we'll have a stop of the play. 3:28 ticks away here in runtime.
Yeah, I honestly did not think this hockey game would be a runtime hockey game, especially when it was 2-1 with about 5 minutes gone in the second period. But Fargo South woke up. Their top 2 players proved that they're their top 2 players. And they've just blitzkrieged the Magicians here the second half of this hockey game.
Well, we had a response on me saying that I need to be schooled if I don't know the rules on hockey. The new standard, anytime that stick is taken away from a player, usually the ref's going to make the call.
Well, then I don't agree with the new standard.
Well, it's still a holding call in my mind that should have went the other way, but that's neither here nor there because the Magicians didn't show up after they gave up back-to-back power play goals. Then again, like I mentioned, they were completely deflated at that point in the contest. We're down to 2.5 to play here in the third. DriveRyan.com. Visit them online. If you're in the market for a new car, truck, SUV, slap shot coming in on Conklin. Flashy glove save, his stop of the tournament. And faceoff comes on his glove side.
He just stopped another close-in shot, and then the puck came out to the point at the top of the slot. And the Bruins took another ripper and a nice glove save by Conklin again, getting his chance to play in a state tournament.
Puck's handled by the Bruins, back at the point. With it, it's worked out of the corner. Bone Breaks trying to clear the zone, can't quite do so yet. It's going to be fired on. Conklin made the stop. Give Fargo South, Shanley all the credit in the world. This team is the real deal. They're my pick to win the state high school hockey tournament. They've got the puck again in front of Conklin. Diving in front of that one was Field to make the stop there. Let's work back down to the corner. They want more here. Another drive on goal. Conklin makes a stop. Give them all the credit in the world. They came in at 12-3-1 in the East, 18-5-1 overall on the year. Biggest win margin was an 11-2 victory at Devil's Lake. Their biggest margin of defeat, 2 points on the year. That's it. They haven't been beaten by more than 2 goals the entire season, Larry.
That is just unbelievable.
That's a pretty impressive stat. Grand Forks Central's the 3-time state champs. But is it Fargo Celsior to pick up state title number 4? They won one in 94, 99, and 2006. They've been to the state tournament 36 times. They're going to the semifinals, and they lead 9-1 now as the puck is topped into the top shelf by Caleb Flanagan. And to make measures worse for the Magi, it's 9-1.
We're going to call that the 16:23 mark. So just glance at the clock and get a time off it as it runs. And hopefully that's the last one.
Well, they're going to face some offense, center. I don't know if there's a time that Minot High has been ousted like this in the opening round of the tournament.
No, I don't think we've ever lost this bad at state tournament before, honestly.
99, we lost in overtime to Fargo North. Kids cut them down. We're at 5-4-3. Central beat us in 2000, 3-1. We didn't make it 2001. That's neither here nor there. Storyline today is Semp and Sandy are the real deal, and Fargo South came to play. They put the wood to the Magicians 9-1. This wasn't even close, and it was fun for nobody except for the South fans that are in the venue now. They go on cruising. Final score on the Ryan Family Dealership scoreboard, 9-1. Fargo South, they stamped their ticket into the semifinals. Minot is going to have to play in the Sunshine Bracket tomorrow morning against Bismarck Century. Pro Style Production live events post-game show comes up next. We'll have the full recap of this one, get you geared up for tomorrow, and look at the night bracket of this tournament as well. It's all South Shanley, 9-1 the final. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production live events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production live events. Let the pros handle it.
My name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS Store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit minothockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Minot High is going to have nightmares of the name Sent and Sandy. They go off on the Magi today. They win this hockey game 9-1, and Fargo South Shanley moves on to the state semifinals. Minot High has to play in the loser-out bracket tomorrow against Bismarck Century. It's Nick Holberg and Larry McFall here for the call on the Pro Style Production Live Events postgame show. Pro Style Production Live Events is the #1 choice for live entertainment at your wedding reception, reunion, or party. The Pro Style Production event management plan guarantees you'll have the time of your life. Visit ProStyleProduction.com to find out more. By the way, Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports is hosting their first annual Sled Hockey Classic April 17th through 19th at the Mesa Arena. Youth and adult divisions, the Sled Hockey Classic is free to attend. Don't miss the Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports Sled Hockey Classic. Larry, this was a disappointing day for the Magi. They lose 9-1 to Fargo South in what seemed to be a pretty good hockey game and a path for the Magi after 17 minutes that found the Magicians tied 1-1. We were in a dogfight at that point. Shot difference was about 4 in the hockey game, and then the train really came off the tracks. First, your analysis on this hockey game before the full recap here today.
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough road for Minot High as Fargo South, as we will say again, you and I last night on the pre-tournament show both picked Fargo South to win the championship, while Ryan Cunningham and Bob Gillen picked Grand Forks Central. So in my mind, South was the team to be good enough to win this tournament. And I knew they were really salty, so as a Minot High fan, I guess I'm not disappointed that Minot High lost, because I kind of expected that to happen. But then when you get the close game early in the second and it's 2-1, and then you get a couple of power plays against you, that just, like we had said before, that just took all the wind out of Minot High's sails. And then when you slow down a little bit, that's when Fargo South puts their foot on the gas. They're not going to stop playing just because you gave up 2 power play goals. Minot kind of slowed down and lost their intensity, and Fargo South just kept on going like a possible championship team will do. And boy, they rubbed it in there in the third period.
Yeah, they really did. 9-1's the final here today. Fargo South, you got to give them credit. They are the real deal. Again, still my pick to win this state high school hockey tournament. And now with the momentum that they have after a 9-1 win over Minot today, they'll play Davies, who had a 6-0 win over Century earlier on. That's going to be the semifinal for bracket 1. The next game we'll see is Jamestown against Red River. That's number 1 out of the East, Red River, against number 4 out of the West, Jamestown. And then 2 and 3 from the East and West are going to go toe-to-toe. It's Bismarck High, the 2 seed out of the West, and Grand Forks Central out of the East at the number 3 seed. Larry, can we get the full recap of this hockey game here today? Who scored the goals and how did they do it and win?
Well, Fargo South got on the board first at the 4:11 mark on an unassisted goal by skater number 3, Alex Senf, who is their second leading scorer, by the way. But then 3 minutes and 14 seconds later, Jack Plemmel took a great cross-the-slot feed from Nicholas Murphy and buried it to make the score 1-1 and definitely gave the Magicians a little bit of hope as they went to the locker room. But then at the 2:13 mark on the power play, it was Carson Dean from Grant Gores. And by the way, I did recognize his dad. He was sitting right in front of us. He's a former athlete at Minot State, way back on the track team. When I was at Minot State in the late 70s playing on the tennis team, I saw him and I didn't get a chance to say hi to him. And this was his son that got the assist on that goal. So some Minot ties there as well. Then at the 7:56 mark, that second power play that we're talking about, it was Alex Senf again to make the score 3-1. And then equal strength about 3 minutes later at 10:46, Senf again completes his hat trick on assist from Zach Bourne and Drew Sandy. And then Drew Sandy got a goal at the 12:22 mark. That was equal strength as well. And at that stage of the game, that made it 5-1 for Fargo South. And then 4 goals in the third period. Drew Sandy unassisted at 1:05. Jake Bryant from Beau Bergeron and Alex Senf again at the 2:24 mark. Then Jake Bryant gets his second straight goal on an assist by Hannison. And then at 16:22, Caleb Flanagan gets the goal from Seb Zasada and Ben Spanier, and that rounded out the scoring at 9-1. For goalie saves for Zach Sandy, he had 4 saves in the first, 10 saves in the second, and then he had 4 saves in the third, and then Aiden Eckert came in and got 1 save in the latter part of that period. He came in at the 7-minute mark. For the Magicians, Trey Sortland, he had 8 saves in the first, 11 in the second. He was then pulled from the game, and Noah Conklin came in and stopped 9 out of 13 shots there in the third period. Penalties, Fargo South was whistled twice for 4 minutes. That didn't hurt them at all. One of them also, and what we're forgetting about, is Minot High had a 5-minute power play early in the game, I believe. And there was no score on that, and that was an opportunity where, am I reading that wrong?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, I am wrong. Yep, the Fargo South was penalized twice for 4 minutes, and Minot penalized only twice for 4 minutes as well, but we know how those two went. And last but not least, face-offs were in favor of Fargo South, 24-20. And the officials downstairs had Fargo South with a lot more quality scoring chances. They had it at 19-9 there. So Fargo South, Shanley 9, Minot High 1. I guess we'll have to wait at least 6 years in between championships, as the 2015 teams is definitely in the distance now as we head to tomorrow's breakfast at the Farmers Union Rink. I hope they're serving up omelets and eggs.
Hope it's as good as the Denny's was today for you and I.
Yeah.
Hey, I just looked back. Since 1999, Minot High has only been shellacked this bad once at the state high school hockey tournament in the opening round. Usually Minot High is in it. They've given up 6 a few times in the tournament. But in 2012, Red River beat Minot by a score of 10-2 in the opening round. So that does match this one here today, an 8-point difference at 9-1. So you're going to have years like that. There's going to be games like that. I don't think a 9-1 score really is a very good indication of how good Minot High is coming into this tournament. Did they have their stride? Probably not like we saw them earlier on this year.
Is South better by 8 goals than the Magicians? Well, you know what? After Davies put up 6 against Century and South put up 9 against Minot High today, maybe they are that much better over in the East region. I have a hard time thinking so, but when it's all said and done, this game's the only game that matters because the tournament book's going to say that for the rest of time. And Fargo South took it to Minot High today. No matter how you try to shape it or mold it, it was a South show today. And a big reason why is our star of the game, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. And that's Alex Sepp from Fargo South. 3 goals. He had a hat trick today. He added an assist in the hockey game. Sepp is our star of the game, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center, where we ensure proper procedures are followed to repair your vehicle so safety features are maintained to keep you and your family safe. We're more than an auto body repair shop. We are Minot's Finest, 839-0989. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 10:40 in the morning. Minot High and Bismarck Century, the third matchup of the year between those two teams. Minot High swept them on the year. They haven't done that since 2017. Troy Olsen's club's playing some pretty good hockey. That's going to be a good game tomorrow at 11 a.m. We hope you join us on the PSP Network. Make sure to like PSP Network on Facebook as well.
And just one last report from the girls' game next door. It's going to quadruple overtime, and it's still Grand Forks 1, Devils Lake 1. Nothing's been decided over there in their first-round matchup yet.
How do you like that?
We might have a final for you folks tomorrow morning when it gets done.
4 overtimes. My goodness. This one today didn't need overtime. It only needed 2 periods before it was pretty much over. Fargo South Shanley cruises against Minot High. We'll be on the air tomorrow for the Planet Pizza pregame show starting at 10:40 in the morning for the 11 a.m. matchup. Minot High and Century in loser outplay. Fargo South and Fargo Davies play in the first semifinal tomorrow. Special thanks to Ryan Family Dealerships, new and used, Minot's best selection. Visit them online at driveryan.com and all of our other sponsors that make Magicians hockey possible on the radio. For my broadcast partner, Larry McFall, I'm Nick Colbert. Signing off from the Shields Arena. Day 1 didn't go well for the Magi. 9-1 is the final for Fargo South. We'll see you folks tomorrow bright and early at 10:40 a.m. for the Planet Pizza pregame show. Till then, Nick Colbert signing off. Have a great afternoon. Good night, and God bless.